Toastmasters, I need your help with something. Somebody needs to tell me what this is.
Looking lost on a map.
Any guesses?
Yeah, I'm trying to find the location.
Close. That is the look of a man who has just realized that he is on the wrong bus. If that was unfamiliar to you, then either one of two things has happened. Either one, you're a very privileged individual, or two, you pay way more attention than I did at age 17. 17 years old, I got my first real job. Mowing lawns for your uncle doesn't count. Painting walls in the basement of the church for your pastor under the table, that doesn't really count. Got my first real job. So excited, I'm going to be selling sports equipment for Sears and Roebuck at Randall Park Mall. Excited. Day one, training. And I get on the wrong bus. What do you do when you get on the wrong bus? I didn't even realize it for quite some time, because going to Randall Park Mall, there were two buses. There was one bus that went through the mall, and then there was a bus that went by the mall. I thought they all went through the mall. So as I get off the Rapid going through Shaker Heights, Ohio, and I get onto the bus to take me the rest of the distance to Randall Park Mall, I assumed either one of these buses would suffice. So as we pull up to Randall Park Mall, I get on the edge of my seat and get ready for it to pull in, and it just keeps going down the street. And I'm looking like, well, maybe they're going to turn around and go in another way, a way that I'm not familiar with. No, it just keeps going down the street. About a good 5 or 10 minutes later, when I realize that I've made a huge error, I decide the best thing I can do is just get off the bus. This was in a time before we had smartphones, cell phones at all, to be that matter. All we had were 25 cents and the hope of somehow finding a payphone. I walked for a few blocks down what appeared to be some type of main street until I ran into this bike shop that had a payphone outside. Thank God there was a payphone outside. And I called my aunt, and she took me, she came and got me a few minutes later. But I was late for work on my first day. Not only was I late, my aunt had to stop everything she was doing to help get me back on track. All because I got on the wrong bus. Question for you all. Have you ever got on the wrong bus? Table topic number 1.
Oh, yes,
Please.
I'll keep this very brief. I, too, have had that experience many times. I remember one time, actually after a Toastmasters meeting, where I gave a target speech for a contest down by the Cleveland Clinic, down by Lyndhurst. Does everyone know where that is? It's freezing. It's about -2 degrees, and I'm thinking, I gotta get this bus. The first bus I see, I will get on that bus. I get on the bus. I sit down. Okay, same stops. I'm getting closer to Cedar, and then I'll just walk the rest of the way home. And then all of a sudden, it took the wrong turn. Next thing I know, I wind up at Cuyahoga County Airport. I have no idea where the heck I am. It's about 11 o'clock at night. I step out in -2 degree weather with only a sweater and a really flimsy blazer and really bad jeans. And I decide I'm just going to walk the rest of the way there. My legs are freezing. My phone died in the middle of all this, in the middle of nowhere. But somehow, I am alive. That was my experience with taking the wrong bus.
There was a woman, I don't recall exactly what city she was in. I think it was New York or Chicago, one of the two. She was at a regular old bus stop. By regular old, I mean, the big box kind of bus stops with the glass windows, and it has the signs that let you know which buses go to this particular bus stop, and they have that extremely uncomfortable bench because they hope you're not going to be sitting there very long. Regular old bus stop. There was one thing that was slightly different about this particular bus stop, though. For some reason, they had a scale in the bus stop. You know, you step on it, weigh yourself type of scale in the bus stop. Lady had been sitting there for a while waiting for her bus. She looks at the scale. It's just her in the bus stop, so she decides, hey, I wonder how much I weigh. She had been dieting, been going to the gym. She was a little curious if how much progress she had made. So she rummages through her purse to find a dime, because who keeps dimes in their purses? She's looking through the purse trying to find a dime. It takes her a while, and she finally pulls out one. She places it in the scale. She steps on. And a few moments later, a card pops out the side. Bing! And she reads the card, and the card says, you weigh 126 pounds. And in the next 30 seconds, you will have bad gas. Bad gas. That was a very odd thing to be on the ticket from a scale. Surely enough, 30 seconds later, stomach started rumbling. She had really bad gas. Thankfully, no one else was in the bus stop, and she alleviated the pressure as decently as possible. But it struck her as kind of odd. Why would the scale be able to tell you that you have bad gas? She was confused, so she goes back in her bag like, no, I've got to find another dime. I've got to find another dime. And she's rummaging through her bag because she was lucky to find the first one, and she finally finds a second one. She puts it in the scale, she steps on, she waits a few seconds, bing, another card pops out. This time it says, you still weigh 126 pounds, and in 30 seconds, the man of your dreams is going to walk by and take intense interest in you. She knew that one had to be a lie. Had to be a lie. Her dating life for the last year had been abysmal. So she's like, no way in the world the man of my dreams is going to walk by. But surely enough, 30 seconds later, a guy turns the corner. He's tall, good looking, dark skinned, muscular, big, broad shoulders, kind of Denzel-ish. And as he's walking by, he happens to notice her and stops mid-stride. They connect eyes. She looks at him, he looks at her, and then he hits her with that smile. She starts to blush. That way he knew it was time to come over, and he engages in conversation with her. And they talk for a while. They're laughing, they're giggling. They're having so much fun. She's flirting, and they're laughing, and they're giggling. She's flirting, they're laughing, and they're giggling. And then finally he realizes, wow, I've got to go. So they exchange phone numbers, and he leaves. And she's like, man, this is an amazing day. She's like, I need to find another dime. So she's looking in her purse for another dime. She can't find one. She dumps the purse on the ground, and she's rummaging through the purse as everything has been kicked all over the bus stop. And finally she finds a dime stuck to some gum in a half piece of wrapper. She peels the gum off. She sticks the dime in the scale. She steps on one last time. Bing! The card comes out. It reads, for the last time, you weigh 126 pounds. But while you were farting and flirting, you missed the bus. Question. How many of you forgot that the story was about a lady trying to catch the bus? Did anybody get so caught up in the scale that we forgot that the whole point of her being at the bus stop was to catch a bus? How many of you have ever missed the bus because you got distracted? Table topic number 2. Missed the bus because you were distracted.